People are still wondering where the ostriches are, whether or not they're at a landfill, whether or not they're in Surrey at Super Save, or whether or not they're at Burnaby at Riverbend that I've mentioned in the past, that Katie also mentioned. So there's a lot of discrepancy as to where these ostriches are. We're all wondering where they are. But as I've mentioned before, CFIA were like 5 steps ahead of everybody. Supposedly there was 2 decoys, but I'm not too sure about that. Let me read to you what someone on FB mentioned and who I really think makes the most sense as to what could have happened. So, 1 second. But in reading this, it makes sense. Hold on, let's see. There were 4 large bins that were loaded onto 2 trucks that left the farm. One truck had the bins with the ostriches, so 2 bins with ostriches, and it went to the Ladner landfill. The birds were buried 9 feet deep in a hole that was already dug and ready for them. This makes sense because, again, they were 5 steps ahead. I've been saying this since the beginning. Like, their entire plan was like so laid out for them. There was no way they were going to do any kind of no kind of mistake in their eyes, right? So let's go on. So the hole was already dug up for them. The other truck may have had contained only garbage from the CFIA. They'd been camping there for a while, so food, scraps, etc. That trunk went to its normal landfill and dumped, then drove to the Surrey Super Save. It may have stunk a bit, but it wasn't from ostriches decomposing for weeks on end, like everyone is claiming. It makes sense. This person, Ray Lynn Dix, makes sense. Don't know if she's a troll. I don't think so. This makes the most sense to me. Although I'm not hearing about Burnaby yet, so we'll see. Let's read on. She goes on to say, repeated complaints about smell by supporters have caused them to wash the bins a couple of times. Drones flew over the open bins and saw there were no ostriches in them. Common sense here, folks. If there would have been ostriches at the bins in Surrey, there would have been all kinds of scavenger birds, animals all over the bins 24/7. It would have been obvious. This makes sense to me. There's no mention about Burnaby. So what was that about? Was that the CFIA lying? Are they really at Ladner landfill? Like, this is something like worth questioning. We're all questioning this right now. And we're like the 21st of November. These poor babies left the earth and are now in heaven since the 6th and 7th. And those that have passed on before that, Spirit and whoever else. I say whoever because they had names. So, I don't know, but that's just we're still wondering, but this makes the most sense to me. Tell me what you guys think. What do you think?